When grading student mixes, I can tell the difference between people who just find music and people who genuinely love music. And when they get their music, they're digging below the surface to get it. See, the ones who dig, their sets feel alive. And when they drop into something commercial, it actually hits harder. They've spent 20 minutes taking on this journey through sound, perhaps songs I've never heard before. And when they drop in something big, it's like bang. It's like the moment is huge and it's almost like you've earned that moment. See, it's completely different to just playing banger after banger after banger. And the thing is, it's just way too easy these days to just hop onto Beatport, play like the top 100 and call it a DJ set. But the problem with that is it's exactly what everyone else is doing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to dig a little bit deeper. So you're playing tracks that not only people love, but better yet, tracks they haven't heard before. Now, before I go through the main platforms, I do want to give you the mindset, okay? Digging isn't about finding some magical hidden site that nobody knows about. It's about going deeper into the same platforms everyone already has. So with that, let's do it. Okay, I want to start with Volumo because Volumo is genuinely the easiest shortcut when it comes to finding underground music. See, instead of digging through a store that's 90% commercial house and pop remixes, just use a store that's built around underground electronic music from the ground up. See, if you're into any form of electronic music, Volumo is amazing. It filters out a huge amount of commercial noise, which means you're not swimming upstream against the mainstream catalog. Instead, you're already in the right place. You're in the right pool. Now, personally, I've been using Volumo for years now, and it's a huge go-to for me, especially when I want to play amazing tracks that no one has heard before. Okay, so I'll run you through the actual site now. Okay, once you're inside volumo.com, you're going to see featured releases, DJ charts handpicked by the Volumo team, what's on rotation, and featured artists. Now, all of that's genuinely useful for browsing, but I find the real value is in the tabs across the top. So let's start on the first one, genres. Go into it, pick a genre you like. So let's say melodic house and techno. Now at the top, you're going to see hero sections, monthly must listens, and in heavy rotation. And further down, you've got DJ charts, featured releases, artists, labels, related genres, and more. So literally, you have a lot of entry points here. But let's jump into what's in heavy rotation. Now, this is stuff that's actually working on dance floors right now. And even though this says heavy rotation, compared to Beatport's top 100, the chances are you still haven't heard half, if any, of these tracks. Okay, so let's click into a couple. Wow, man, even this first track I try, it sounds amazing. So let's say you find a song you like. Now you have options. You can add it to a playlist, or you can add it to your cart. Now, by the way, when you check out, you're buying per track. And the good news is Volumo are all about supporting the artist. So 75% of the revenue goes straight to the artist. So when you buy songs, you can feel really good about that purchase. But just one thing worth mentioning at checkout, you're not locked into one file type. You can grab like an MP3, a WAV, an AIFF, or a FLAC, and you can also re-download the track as many times as you like at no extra charge. So that's a triple win there. Okay, so let's jump back into search. So I really love this track. If I want to go further down the rabbit hole, I can search the artist directly or click into the track itself, and there you're going to see where it's charted, or scroll down further to see related tracks, related artists, and related albums. Now, these tabs alone can take you deep depending on how far you want to go. Okay, so the next tab across, you've got exclusives. So there's a bunch of tracks on here that are really solid, and the good news is they're only available on Volumo. Further along, you have releases. Now, I love this tab because if you want to play a track that literally nobody has ever played before, you can actually filter by tracks released in the last couple of days, or released released today even, So let's say I go check a song now. So see, I've jumped in and already there's a dozen tracks released today in that one genre. So if you want to be the DJ playing something brand new, this is exactly how you do it. There's also some really solid filters here, so you can sort by time range And when you combine the range with a particular genre, you can uncover some real gems. Okay, moving across, we have pre-orders. So that means you can preview tracks that haven't even been released yet. And then you've got charts. Now, charts is one of my favorite sections as it's full of beautifully curated tracks for all occasions. So you have DJ charts, further down Volumo focus charts, plus Volumo on rotation. So let's just have a look at that. So see how you got a little question mark next to say Volumo on rotation? I'll just read some of this quickly. So on rotation charts, highlight the tracks that are currently in heavy rotation across top DJ sets, club nights, festivals, and radio shows worldwide. This is where new electronic music becomes hot, tested directly on dance floors and in real DJ workflows. If a track keeps appearing in DJ playlists, live sets, and radio rotations, it earns its place here. So that gives you an idea. So we can go further down, you've got popular genres, created DJ charts, and just on that quickly, if you want to create your own DJ chart, well, you can go into here into my charts, or you can actually convert any of your playlists into charts. So say I've got a playlist here, I like this techno one, I could go in and go make it a chart, and then you go in, fill in your details, add an image if you like, and then you can publish it. And you've also got a link that you can share to your friends. So all in all, you can find underground music on every single page of Volumo, and often these tracks are as good, if not better, than tracks you hear on most of the mainstream platforms. I also love the community feel that Volumo brings. You can tell the site is really well thought out, it's super user friendly, and I get the feeling that the people who put this together, they really care about what they do. I'm a huge fan of this site, and it's hard to go past if you want to find a sound that is uniquely yours. Now, one of the things I love about Volumo is you can go completely in cold. So that means you don't need any ideas, no starting point, because everything in there is already curated and already underground, which means you can just pick a chart, you can pick a genre, and you can start pulling the thread from absolutely nothing. But I feel SoundCloud's a little bit different to that. So it works best once you've already got some kind of idea. So you might have a genre in mind, maybe a track, maybe a song, even a label. So let's say you found an artist you like. Here's how I actually dig from there. So type the name of the artist into search, and then I would follow them. So by following them, it means every new upload they drop lands straight in your feed. So that means no searching required. You just see it the second it's live. Okay, but from there, you can scroll through all their tracks, or you can hit station right there on the profile. So that builds you a 50-track playlist based on their releases, plus also pulling from similar artists and sounds. So this alone is a fantastic way to find similar tracks that may not appear in the mainstream sites. Now, if you jump across into the right column on the artist page, you're gonna find their likes. Now, this is an overlooked rabbit hole. Okay, it's basically what that artist is personally into, even what's influencing them. So sure, sometimes you'll catch an artist liking their own tracks, which, man, fair enough. But past that, it genuinely gives you a read on their taste. Now, if you want to go further down the rabbit hole, you could jump into fans that this artist also like, or you could go one step further and see who that artist is following, which just opens up another rabbit hole even further, man. Okay, so now let's get into an actual track. So you find a track you like, click into it, and this is where it gets good. Now you've got two ways to find similar sounding tracks. So number one, related tracks sits right there on the page. So you can click into it and you can just work through it one track after another. And if you like a track, go further into it. It just keeps going like that. However, there's also a station feature, which is doing pretty much the same job as related tracks, but station feels a little bit automatic and just a little bit easier to use. So just select the three dots next to the track name and select station. Now, in my experience, it tends to list 50 tracks, but if you leave the station playing, it's gonna keep feeding you new stuff. So stations really are an endless supply of similar tracks. Now, as you're going through and finding tracks you like, before you even worry about downloading, I'd go ahead and I'd add them to a playlist. So hit add to playlist, drop in the song, and just keep digging. That way nothing gets lost while you're mid-rabbit hole and you've got a running collection to come back to. And you can make playlists for different genres, everything, just like keep it organized as you go. So when you're ready to download, search the track individually and see if you can grab the file. So if you're not sure whether it's downloadable, hit the 3 dots on the track and see what comes up. Now, sometimes it's a straight up free download. Sometimes it's a buy link that will probably send you to Beatport or Bandcamp instead. But one more thing on the free downloads. Sometimes you're going to be asked to pop in your email or follow their Instagram or follow them on SoundCloud or even drop a comment before the download unlocks. So you don't have to overthink this. It's not sketchy. It happens all the time. It's just the artist asking for a fair trade. So they're going to give you the free track, but they want a new fan. Man, this is totally normal. And honestly, it's the least you can do for someone making music you actually want to play out. So follow it, man. What's it going to cost you? Okay, so anyway, that's the real difference between searching SoundCloud and digging on SoundCloud, is most people find one good track, save it and move on. So when digging in SoundCloud, you're not just finding a track. You're finding a whole network of artists and producers that are devoted to the same sound as you. So that's how you go from finding a track to finding a scene, to finding a culture. Okay, so we're at Beatport. Now, if you're completely new to digging, Beatport is honestly a great place to start. I'm not going to tell you to avoid the top 100. I'm going to tell you the top 100 is where you start, not where you finish. So basically, go to the top 100. How you do that is just go down here on the homepage, view top 100 tracks. Now that we're in here, we can go listen to songs that we like. And let's say you find a song you like and you're like, yep, this is awesome. Well, then we can have some options. You can click into the actual, like the artist there, or the people that have actually done it with them as well. So they're like co-made the song, right? So you can go in there, and over here's the label you can click into as well. So let's say I go Vintage Culture, click on those guys, and then I can see their top 10 releases. So they're their big ones, which I can scale through too, and also see who they're writing the songs with. So I could go into there, another rabbit hole. Check out Anna, check out this one, check out Artbat, you know, I can go whatever. But you also go along here to tracks, and if I hit tracks, then I'm going to see all their latest releases. So that's their latest release, and then it just goes further down and further down, and you can really just go further into that artist. But again, you can also go into the label. So I could hit the label, and the label's going to have similar sounds. A label generally, I'll talk about labels in a sec, but they generally have got a particular sound. So if you find a sound you like, you hop into the label, that can open up a lot of options. Okay, but let's go to this song though. So let's say I like this song now. I'm just picking a song randomly. Once you find that song, you can also scroll down, and then there's going to be recommendations. So this is songs that they feel sound like that. So if I click this little thing here, it goes, we've fine-tuned our recommendations engines using behavior from your playlist, card activity, and collection, alongside picks from our global DJ community and expert curators. Your recommendations are tailored to the track you're viewing. They refresh weekly and get smarter the more you dig. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. So you got recommendations here based on what I just spoke about. The Beatport Top 100 isn't the problem. Stopping there is the problem. So honestly, start at the top 100, but from there, you got a lot of options. You can go even deeper and you can find some real gems. Because when you think about it, the top 100 is constantly changing. So you might not have looked at this for like 3 months. So you can just go in deeper, find who the artists are, find their tracks, and you just go deeper and deeper, and it really helps you to stay on top of your digging and on top of your music library, and just go further into Beatport. Beatport, I actually love it, so you know, check it out. Okay, this is a quick one, but this might be the single biggest shift in how you dig for music. See, most people search for artists, but often the people with the best crates, they search for labels. And when you think about it, if a label puts out 10 tracks you love, that's not a coincidence. Someone at that label is filtering through hundreds of demos and only pushing the ones that actually fit their sound. So that means they're doing the curation for you. So if you find a sound that you like, check out their label, and that could open up a goldmine of undiscovered tracks. So how do you actually find these labels? Honestly, the easiest way is to just reverse engineer it from the tracks you already love. So every track you've been digging up on Volumo or Beatport has a label attached to it. So stop scrolling past the credit, click into it and see what comes up. See, an example is, let's say you love techno. Okay, a huge label in the techno world is Drum Code. So now we've got the name of the label. You have some options. Number one, you can click into it inside of Beatport and either check their featured releases or just click straight into releases and see everything listed out, ordered by release date. Though personally, when I'm digging through a label, I actually prefer doing it on SoundCloud. Personally, I just like the layout, it looks better to me. So take that label name, type it straight into the SoundCloud search bar, and it'll pull up all their releases, also ordered by release date. And from there, you can even build a station off it, which is honestly one of my favorite ways to dig for music. Now that said, I always come back to Volumo for this too. See, once you find a track you like, scroll down to related labels and wow, man, it's genuinely a great way to find a similar sound as opposed to hopping into charts and hearing what's popular each week. All in all, man, I get it. It's so easy to default back to the platforms we're all used to and digging in the exact same ways. But honestly, out of everywhere I dig, Volumo, Beatport, and SoundCloud are the three I keep coming back to the most. So your homework, find 3 or 4 labels that consistently match your taste, follow them, and then you're going to get notified whenever they release a new track. Okay, the video is already getting kind of long, but there are just a few more sites I'd just quickly like to mention because I use these sites a lot. So one is watch other people's DJ sets. And let's say you see a set and you're at a festival and you're like, fuck, that was amazing. And you want to get the set list in the exact order it was played. Head to 1001tracklist.com. Just type in the name of the set. And if it's a well-known touring DJ, the chances are they've already got the full list up, which means you can see exactly what they played track by track. Now, another thing you can do is if you like the single track when you're out at a club, just Shazam it, okay? And once you have the track name, you can then use that to dig even deeper like we've talked about in this video. And then last but definitely not least, Bandcamp. This is where all the independent labels live. And the good thing about Bandcamp is, like Volumo, it's built around getting money into the artist's pocket. Now, Bandcamp works a little bit differently to the others though. See, it's not built around a related tracks or station feature. It's built around tags. So head to the Discover page, pick a genre, and you can actually stack tags together. So for instance, electronic music, let's say house, and I could dive into a particular scene. So for instance, let's go Chicago house. This is definitely worth a look if you want music that will never show up anywhere else. Okay, so I live 10 minutes north of Byron Bay in Australia, and people genuinely don't want to hear commercial music here. So using sites like Volumo lets me actually develop a sound and play music that nobody's heard. But more than that, I can play a sound that I've put together. Like the way I put my sets together, it's kind of like a sound that's originally mine. But here's the real point. The best DJs aren't necessarily the ones who are better at searching music. And I also get the flashy transitions and playing hits for social media. That's also a part of modern DJing now, and I get all of that. But here's the thing, when you're playing live, none of that matters as much as your track selection. It's about building a set that flows and actually expresses who you are and where you're at musically, while still keeping people engaged on the dance floor. See, it doesn't mean throwing out what the crowd wants. You're still playing for the room, you still have to read the room, and you still, really helps anyway, knowing what type of music you're expected to play for that night, right? But when you do play the big tracks, let's say you want to bust in the commercial stuff, you go there on your own terms instead of just pulling your whole playlist from a chart. See, the great DJs are usually digging in the exact same places as everyone else, but they just dig a little bit deeper. So if you can build that habit, eventually the roles flip, and instead of people telling you about tracks, people are coming up to you, man, going, fuck, what song was that, you know? Okay, so if you're new to all of this, 100% check out Volumo. That's genuinely my go-to. I'd also suggest playing around with SoundCloud. I love their station feature. And Beatport, yeah, we all know it's great, but here's the thing, just remember that if you're playing only the top 100, you risk sounding like everyone else. Okay, man, I really hope you've enjoyed this content. Your friend, coach, and mentor, Andrew. See ya.